to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.
What's up, Jacket Nation? Welcome back to Jacket Talk. I'm Levi, and as always, I'm joined by my trusty sidekick, Scott.
Sidekick, really? Just remember who keeps the show running smoothly.
All right, co-host. Let's just say we're a dynamic duo, keeping you in a loop with everything happening in Jacket Nation. And this week, we got some serious action to talk about. First up, Lebanon Wrestling. The boys headed to the Francis Howell North Tournament in St. Louis, facing off against some of the toughest teams from Missouri and Illinois. Freshman Joe Gardner and Ty Alley had standout performances, each taking second place. Not bad for their first big varsity tournament.
Not at all. And then they turned around and hosted a dual meet against two state-ranked teams, Ozark and Sickman. Every match was a battle, and the Jackets held their own. Huge props to the entire squad.
Speaking of wrestling, let's talk about the Lebanon Girls Wrestling team. They competed at North Kansas City and crushed it. Lacey Melanson, Jessa Joyner, Sophiea Quinn, and Alissa Dawson all brought home first-place finishes, and the team earned second overall. Strong start to the season.
All right, on to the hardwood. The Lady Jackets basketball team battled hard in the Fairgrove tournament, taking on some tough competition. They fell to Capital City in a hard-fought game, but are back at it tomorrow night, heading on to Eldon.
And for the boys, they went 1-2 at a Forsyth tournament and came up just short against Marshfield last night. But Friday night's the home opener, and it's not just any game. They're honoring the popcorn basketball participants and looking home to bring the Highway 5 trophy. The Hive is going to be buzzing.
Let's not forget the pool. The Lady Jacket swimmers made waves at the West Plain tournament. They took home third place as a team, and Missy Mizell and Lucy Huff basically rewrote the record books.
Seriously, Missy broke pool and meet records in a 50 free, 100 backstroke, and Lucy did the same with 100 butterfly and 100 breaststroke. They weren't done yet. They, along with Asa McKnight and Evelyn Martin, won the 200 medley relay and the 400 free relay. Incredible performance.
And speaking of incredible, Lucy Huff was named Jacket of the Week.
Switching gears to football, the all-conference honors are in, and we had some heavy hitters in the list. Defensive standouts Nick Allen, Abe Allen, Mason Hendricks, and Avery Starnes got the nod, along with offensive stars Jackson Glendening, Hayden Perkins, Brandon Christian, and Jake Redmond. Congrats, guys.
Big shout out to the Lebanon Barbell Club, too. Carter Singh and Eva Windsor competed in Tucson, Arizona, and Carter qualified for the World Championship in Peru this April. Go lift some medals, Carter.
And let's give it up for a Lebanon band. Lucas Solom, Aiden Zier, and Gavin Zier will be performing with the Missouri All-State Band at Margaritaville in February. Jacket Nation is showing out everywhere.
All right, Jacket Nation, it's time to send it over to Kevin and Ramsey at Buzzcuts Barbershop. They're sitting down with Coach Neely and some of the stars from Lebanon Girls Wrestling, Braylyn Williams, Lacey Melanson, Sophiea Quinn, and Alissa Dawson. Take it away, guys.
How much has your bank paid you? We've paid our Kasasa account holders more than $7 million since 2017. Open an account in minutes to get in on the earnings today.
We are back at Buzzcuts in downtown Lebanon. Coach Matt Neely of the Lady Yellowjacket Wrestling Squad is joining us here on this Wednesday. How's season gone so far?
It's not gone too bad. We got second at our first tournament at North Kansas City last weekend, and then we had our first two duels last night.
Mm-hmm. And how did that go?
The duels didn't go so well. We were up against some really good state-level competition in Seckman and Ozark, so we had some close duels. We lost by about 8-9 points to Seckman and about 12 to Ozark, which isn't too bad considering we were open with 2 to 3 weight classes each duel, so it's not too horrible.
Good competition early on that kind of helps you set the bar and see what you need to do going forward.
That's exactly right. That's what we try to do every year. We want to show them what the competition is going to look like at the very beginning so they know where their weaknesses and where their strengths are and what we need to work on as a team.
Well, your group certainly has a state championship lineage to their advantage. What's the goals and objectives this year? Probably haven't changed much, have they?
As a big picture, the goals never change. I mean, just it's probably the same for every team. Every team wants to win the state title. Every team wants to win every tournament they go in. So, that's the same goals. Now, whether you have a team that can actually do that or not is a little bit different. And as a coach, and especially as a head coach, you've got to know, okay, well, is this team capable of that? Do I need to push harder? Do I need to back off a little bit because they're not really capable of that. So, you just got to kind of decide where your team's at as you go along.
Mm-hmm. Most squads have seniors that they have to say farewell to, and I'm sure that's no different with your wrestling squad. What are the voids in the lineup that you had to replace this season?
Oh, last year was a hard year to lose. That group of seniors there, they were our winningest group ever. The number 1 and number 2 match winners in history were in that group, so to replace those was really tough. But luckily we have a youth program and a USA program and a middle school program that will hopefully bring those girls in every year.
What's coming up later on in the month of December for you?
Well, next week on Monday, we're going to be at the Nixa Girls Tournament, which is typically a pretty tough tournament. Nixa has always been neck and neck with us over the years. They got second at state last year when we got third. But like I said, they've always got a good group of girls. And then that tournament they put on, they bring in some of the hammers from Class 1 and Class 2. So that tournament should be a really eye-opener for anyone who's not understanding what the season is going to be like for them. And then right after that, next Friday and Saturday, we're at the Kansas City Stampede Tournament, which is one of the toughest national tournaments for girls. And I think they're up to about 60 or 70 girl teams that will be there and over 100 boy teams that'll be at that tournament. It's a huge tournament.
You say it's a national event. How far do teams come in?
We've had teams as far as Florida, California, Washington State come to that one. So, they'll come from all over. I think the last map I saw was Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, Illinois, Florida, Texas. I mean, it's teams from everywhere that come to this.
Girls wrestling still on the uptick overall in this area as far as participation and quality, do you feel?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the issue is, when you got a great team, people get really intimidated to come and join that team. So we've kind of had to try and alleviate that with the middle school wrestlers. I go talk to them a couple times during the year, especially the 8th graders, and, let them know, we really need you because we've had a couple years, like our seniors this year, I've only got 2. And that's all I've had since their sophomore year. So, when you're only getting 2 in, it's hard to fill them holes. But in the last few years, like our juniors right now, I think we have 8 or 9. The freshmen this year, we've got 9. So our team's building up, and it becomes a battle of numbers. Who can get the most numbers in the room to develop the best athletes?
Take us through your varsity lineup. Who's occupying those spots right now?
At 100 pounds, we've got Lacey Melanson. She is undefeated on the season. She's a junior. And we expect big things from her for the rest of the season. At 105, we've got Kira Bragg. She's one of our seniors. 110 right now, we're open, but we're hoping to see Josie Starmer, a freshman, in there. Like I said, about beginning January timeframe. 115, of course, is our Jessa Joyner, 2-time state champ. 120 right now is Eliana Rothman. She's a freshman. She's doing really good. She took 3rd at North Kansas City tournament last weekend. She got a win last night in our duels. At 125, we got Kaylee Hurd. She's a sophomore returning state qualifier. 130 right now, we've got Braylyn Williams. Her eventual plan is to go down to 120, but right now she's at 130 and she's wrestling really well there. She got 2nd at our tournament this weekend. 135 is Jalen Melanson. She's one of those juniors. 140 right now is Alissa Dawson. She got 1st at our tournament at the North Kansas City tournament last weekend. She's doing really well. 145 is a freshman, Isabella Odell, and she's really coming on good. She wrestled really well this weekend, made the finals, got 2nd. And 155 is Andrea Childress. Right now, she's kind of nursing a little injury to get back into the game, but she's done really well. She's a former state qualifier for us. Right now, 170 is open. We don't have anybody for that spot yet, and over the past, that's always been a hard spot for us to fill. I don't know why, but it's always hard to get that 170 or 174, whatever it is that year, to fill. Right now at 190, we have Carly Alford. She's a freshman out of, she went to Jeb. She done really well this last weekend and last night. And then heavyweight right now, we've got Sophiea Quinn. She's one of our juniors. She's done real well. She won the tournament this weekend, won both of her matches last night.
What's a typical Lady Yellowjacket practice session like with you?
Well, it really depends on the days because I cycle through intensities and stuff. But, it pretty much it's the same thing. We'll warm up, jog for 6-10 minutes or something like that, some sprints, some agility stuff. And then we'll go into like wrestling specific drills. We'll do that for about 30, 45 minutes. And then we'll go in what we call, for at least for the first half season, depending on where my wrestlers stand, it may last the whole season. We'll go into what we call technique time, and where we're just drilling and teaching proper technique for all of our moves. And then we'll go into live, and then we'll go in the part the girls really hate the most, which is the conditioning. That's not fun for them.
How much work is invested by you as a coach and by your wrestlers to kind of scout their individual opponents that they're going to face coming up?
Honestly, in wrestling, it's not like a lot of other sports. I will scout some of them just to understand, what's their move, to tell them what to look out for. But I don't encourage my girls at all to scout their opponents one bit. I don't even encourage them to look at the state rankings. I don't look at the state rankings, and I don't even want them looking at brackets, because the mental side to this game is so tough. You can get psyched out in the matches, 6-minute match. You get psyched out for the first 3 minutes, you probably aren't coming back. So I encourage them to have your game plan, work your game plan when you get out there. And it doesn't matter who it is. You want to get first place, you got to beat everybody. So it doesn't matter if you've got the best girl the first round or if you don't have her till the finals. You've got to wrestle the same way the whole time.
Is there more duels compared to tournaments this year, or vice versa? Or is it pretty much the same?
We're pretty much the same. I try and get us anywhere from 7 to 10 duels in the season. Just kind of depends. And then we'll have a tournament. We'll have 9 to 10 tournaments a year. With wrestling, it's kind of a balancing act, because we can only have so many matches going into our districts before you get disqualified. So I try and push the levels as far as I can there to get them the maximum matches they can get.
What about, let's take a look down the road, your district tournament competition. Where do you go for that, and what's the feel like?
Well, this year we're going to back up to Belton, Missouri. The district is pretty much the same teams we had last year. Our team this year isn't quite as strong, so I don't see us honestly being first place at districts. We'll probably be fighting for second or third. Now, I say that, but you never know what happens. Some of these girls could get on fire. I've had that happen before, and we could walk away with it all. But, in my opinion, our district is the toughest girls district in the state. When you look at it, like last year, team that got second, third, and I think fifth or something like that all came from our district.
Not to apply any pressure, but as you look toward Columbia, who do you project that has a chance maybe to get to the podium or get back to the podium this year?
Oh, I can see Lacey Melanson on the podium. Of course, Jessa, we expect her to be on that podium at the top again. Pretty much all of mine that have qualified: Braylyn Williams, Sophiea Quinn, Kaylee Hurd, Andrea Childress. I see everybody has a chance to get a medal on that podium. I don't have any problem saying we could probably walk away with 6 or 7 medalists this year, but I've said that before, and we walked away with 2, So again, it's just really how they perform come that tournament time. Can I peak them at the right time?
Matt, appreciate it. Best of luck going forward for the Lady Yellowjackets.
Thank you, Kevin.
That's Coach Matt Neely joining us. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back to Jacket Talk Overtime from Buzzcuts in downtown Lebanon. Brought to you today by Mid-Missouri Bank, by Ginger Wellness, by Jacket Nation Sports, and by Mercy. We're joined by a couple of Lady Yellowjacket wrestlers, Sophiea Quinn and Alissa Dawson. Alissa, how'd your match go last night?
I actually had 2. My second one against Ozark, I pinned her in the 3rd round, I think.
Are you satisfied with the way the season has started for you thus far?
Yeah, my first tournament I won, and I think it was just kind of more of a mental thing. I went into it not thinking I was going to win, but the more I felt the match, the more I had more confidence in myself to win, and came out on top. So,
Sophiea, how about you?
I pinned my girl the first period. She was like a little heavier than me, but that's okay. I'm not really satisfied with how I wrestled. I feel like I could have done a better job, but a win's a win. I like the way I started out so far. I've got my tiara that made me really happy. I have it propped up on my dresser. I look at it every morning. But yeah.
Excellent. What's your goals and objectives for the season going forward?
So I want to cut down to 190. I'm only like 4 pounds away from it because I hurt my back last year going to 35, wrestling people that were 30 pounds heavier than me every day. It was just, but I think, hopefully.
Tough question, but how do you manage to do that? What are some of the steps that you take to get to your goal?
Cardio, layer up during practice, watch what I eat.
How tough is that?
So far it hasn't. I started out before the season at like 208. I'm down now like 194, and it hasn't been too tough. It just my biggest problem was just stuffing my face full with food. But I've kind of learned like to stop eating when I'm full.
Alissa, how about you? What weight class are you in?
I'm currently in 140. I hope to stay in 140. I think so far the season's gone pretty well at 140. My hope is to make it to state this year and place in state. But I used to wrestle 120 my freshman year, but I always did it like super unhealthily. So I think 140 is a good like middle weight for me.
Mm-hmm. How'd you get involved in the sport of wrestling?
Kind of just coincidentally, the coaches from middle school were in the cafeteria handing out papers, and I was like, I want to do this. And my mom actually laughed in my face because she didn't think I could do it. But I ended up sticking with it. So,
Sophiea, what's your involvement?
Yeah, the papers. I went up my 7th grade year with one of my friends, and I didn't stick throughout my 7th grade year because my friend dropped out actually, and then I didn't want to do it alone. My 8th grade year, I tried again. My friend tried again. My friend did not stay, but I really enjoyed it, so I stayed through with it, and here I am.
Do you enjoy any other athletic activities?
I like watching football, but anything else?
From
Not
a
really.
participation standpoint, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
How about you, Alissa?
same thing. I don't really do any other sports. I tried track, but I like wrestling so much better.
Well, you get a lot of conditioning in that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Who is your toughest individual opponent, or who has been?
In the past, I think my toughest has probably been someone from Nixa. I think Nixa's, and we got a Nixa tournament coming up, so it's definitely some good motivation to push myself this next week.
Sophiea, how about you?
I'm not completely sure. I know like her face, but her school, I don't really, because I don't see her a whole lot. I only see her at big tournaments like the KC Stampede. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see her there. Wonder Woman, I'll probably see her there. And then State, I'll probably see her there too.
Yeah.
What's your plans and objectives going forward after you depart from high school?
I would love to wrestle in college. I would be really sad if that wasn't an option for me. So I really hope I'm able to wrestle in college and continue that.
Any particular subject that you enjoy that you might want to pursue as a major?
I want to go into the medical field. I'm not sure which branch though. That's kind of what I'm figuring out right now currently.
Alissa?
I'm planning to do OTC here in Lebanon and then get my associate's degree to become a social worker and then kind of just roll from there.
Has that been something you've planned on?
Yeah, I thought about wrestling in college, but I just don't like see it in like a continuous part for me in there.
Ladies, thanks for the visit. Best of luck going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alissa Dawson and Sophiea Quinn from the Lady Yellowjacket Wrestling Squad on Jacket Talk Overtime. Back in just a moment.
My name is Jaisha Connor, owner and nurse practitioner here at Ginger Wellness. I believe that sometimes healthcare does too much, and I believe that's where wellness centers can really bridge that gap and really give people some confidence in natural ways, healthier ways, to really improve quality of life and to get healthy.
We want to feel better and live better lives. It's not about quantity, it's a lot about quality of your life.
Ginger Wellness is where I went to get my quality of life back.
I'm Ramsey Stewart, LEB TV, and this is our fun, kind of new segment of Jacket Talk. I'm sitting down with Braylyn Williams and Lacey Melanson. Did I say that right?
Melanson.
Melanson. All right. Both juniors, Lebanon Girls Wrestlers, and got a few questions for you. All right, Lacey, first. Favorite movie?
I really like Inception.
Whoa. Okay, why?
I don't know. I just think it's a cool concept.
It gets pretty trippy, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've never even heard of that. My favorite movie is 8 Seconds.
Riding for Lane.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Why?
Because I've watched him my whole life, and I love Lane Frost, and there ain't nothing better than he is. Best bull rider there was.
All right. And what about JB Mooney? He's good.
Oh, I like him quite a bit.
Who's like real popular in bull riding right now?
Oh, I don't really know. I just know a few of them.
Oh.
JB was, and then he retired this year, so he's done because he broke his back or his neck or his back or something, and so he's done.
Right. Lacey, favorite song to get ready for a match?
It's a song by Rihanna, but it's got a bad word in it.
Well, just
Better
we'll
have
edit.
my money.
Better have my money.
Yeah, but there's the B word in front of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gets you going.
Not appropriate.
Balin, you?
I don't know. I'm not much of a music listener to. All my music's too slow.
Too slow?
Too slow.
Like what kind of slow?
Like old slow.
Like Hank Williams,
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, Waylon, like that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Waylon and Balin.
Yep.
All
We
right.
do dance though.
We do dance. We dance quite a bit, and we don't even need music.
Okay. Favorite song to dance to or favorite dance move?
We call it milking the cow. It's like this, and you go in circles.
That one's it quite a bit. Or the stanky leg.
Yeah.
Stinky.
We was hitting the shopping cart last night.
Yeah, we were.
All right. One more real quick for both of you. We'll start with you, Balin. If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, living, dead, who would it be?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. Why?
Because she's cool. She's old. Still looks good. Sounds good.
All right. All right. Dolly Parton. Lacey?
I'd always choose my dad. My dad's a cool guy. Like I
That's
had
pretty
dinner
cool.
with him all the time, but he's funny, so I just picked dinner with my dad.
All right. Fair enough. Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow for Jacket Talk Overtime. We're going to dive in deep with Lacey and Balin about wrestling, school, all the things that make their lives go around, and we're excited for you to see it. Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Thanks, Kevin and Ramsey. Jacket Nation, thanks for hitting up this winter, and we're just getting started. Remember, you can catch all sports streaming live on Jacket Nation Sports. And, of course, your weekly Jacket Talk right here on LEB TV.
That's all for this week. Keep showing up, cheering loud, and representing Jacket Nation with pride. Until next time,
Go Jackets.
Welcome to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.